woman wants to look sexy. I mean, who doesn't want to drive a man absolutely wild? But how do you do it? Is it in the way you walk? Is it in what you wear? Or is it in how you smell? I mean, this perfume right here, it's actually filled with hormones, and they say it's guaranteed to drive a man absolutely wild. Does it work? I don't know, but just in case. Anyways, all I do know, it's a sex war out there.
It's a war, all right, and if you are going to battle, here is some of the gear you might want to wear in order to win.
I win all my wars, and you will too. But before you lock and load, there's something you need to know, and that's all about your sexual self. So today we're going to find out how a woman is sexy and what makes her sexy, and it's coming up right here today on Cafe Cosmopolitan.
Yes, it is.
The theme of our show today, all right, so we got a lot of work to do. Now, we have a show full of experts today with surefire strategies that are going to help us pump up our own sex appeal. Not bad, right? I know I can use the help between the nail and the hair appointments. I'm a mess. My work is never done.
It never stops. It absolutely never stops. It's Victoria's Secret. It's glow-in-the-dark push-up bras, it's garter belts. While men, of course, you men get to wear the same old ratty underwear you've been wearing, and that's okay. I've got a problem with that picture.
Well, let me tell you, you hear those guys back there laughing?
Yes.
I bet you they've been wearing the same underwear since high school.
Should probably check, huh? Well, in today's show, we're going to cover sexy from the bottom up. With us, we have fashion designer Jerry Kelly with the sexy clothes. We also have Dr. Alan Sarur, and ladies, he provides the latest in plastic surgery.
And let me tell you, listen to this quote now. You won't really know your lover until you have unearthed those hidden desires. Those are powerful words, and they're by author Nancy Friday, and she's written bestsellers, My Mother, Myself, My Secret Garden, and Women on Top. And don't you love the title of that book, huh? Anyways, they're all bestsellers, like I said. They're all empowering women, and she says that the message for the woman of the 90s is that we have to be in control.
That's right, and we will be in control of our sexy selves today because we're having a famous sexologist on, Dr. Marilyn Volker, and she says it's not so much about burning the bra anymore, it's about getting what she calls the map. I'm not sure what the map is, but I'm sure we'll find out. She's going to navigate us through it, and apparently it's a map that leads our sexual partner to places that make us feel really good. So I'm looking forward.
But you know, really good is how you're going to feel when you see this next guy that we have for you. He is a real hunk, and he's going to get all our adrenalines pumping today.
Ladies, when I say hunk, this guy is so good-looking that good girls like myself have bad thoughts when he's around.
Oh, yeah, so she's playing the good girl thing, all right? I'm the single girl in the house, and the guy's just plain hot, so let's take a look at him, all right? We're going to roll the video. In this room has its benefits, that's for sure. Let's bring him out. You know him as Neil Johansson on Another World. Please help me welcome actor James Hyde. Woo!
How you doing?
You guys.
Now you come right over here. You sit by me.
Yeah.
Somehow I don't trust this situation already.
Yeah, 3 women and you're all alone, you're all
right.
ours. Now, sexy is something you should know a lot about because, after all, you do all those incredible Hollywood sex scenes. And you know what I've always wondered is, are they real? Because if they are, I'm getting into acting.
James, don't give us that old cliche. It's just acting. I don't feel a thing. We're all women. We got hormones. We don't buy it.
It's as real as you want it to be, you know? And hopefully if you want to go in and do something and you want it to be real, it's got to be, you can't, like, be that real, but it's
You gotta feel it from the
pretty
bottom
close.
up,
Of course.
kind
Of course.
No pun intended.
Of course.
This is getting bad. I'll stop.
It's got to be there, so, you know. It's
And there's some co-stars, I'm sure, that you like better than others.
Oh, of course. I mean, there's some people you wouldn't mind kissing. There's other people you'd be like, ugh. That's when you really act.
Touche. All right, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit.
Okay.
I want to know, from a hot guy like yourself, what you think is sexy in a woman. Define a sexy woman for me.
Confident.
Confident.
Confident, yeah. And I
That's good. We're confident.
She's,
I like that. It's not just...
I like the way she dresses. If she dresses nice, you know, she's got good taste. It's sexy to me. Being very versatile, I think sexy.
Are there any physicalities?
Nice eyes, I think is great. Great smile, you know, it's nice.
She's single. She said that already?
Yeah, although we're also going, you know.
Women
never
are
know.
very complex. I think there's a lot of things that goes into being sexy. And,
Oh my God, he's sexy and sensitive.
I can hardly stand it.
We here at Cosmopolitan Cafe, whenever we have a male guest, we espresso him. And you know what that means? It means you have to express yourself. You have to give it all up.
Okay,
Right, girls?
You have to give it up.
I'll give it up.
Our research indicates, however, that what triggers a man's sexual response is very different than what triggers a woman's sexual response. Men, as we women know, are very, very, very visual. Women, on the other hand, we rely on our senses like taste and touch.
Even smell.
Some more than others. So basically, we found a good excuse to blindfold you, James, and give you a little sense test and see what you find sexy and what turns you on.
This sounds fun.
But before we blindfold you, you're gonna have to take your shirt off so you can
Let's do
properly
it.
experience. You got it. You got to experience. Come on.
Music, please.
Roll the music, maestro. Come on. At least that helped him out. Oh, if I must.
Okay, look at Mary, ladies, do it. Okay.
Oh, honey.
I'm a married one. To my husband, I'm doing it for the job. I'm doing it for the job. Okay, now come over here. This is the part I like.
This was gonna get like
Of course.
Oh my God. How
We're
much
gonna
do you work
blind-
out? I'm all hot and bothered.
And I even like the tattoo. Fearless, it says. Okay.
Okay, let's bring out also the little things we're going to test you with.
Okay.
We have our bartenders will come out with those.
hey, you test me with what? Come on. I can't see you.
All right,
whole
you got them
point.
blindfolded. All right, now we're gonna start with touch, and I'm gonna start. I'm gonna take a couple of items and I'm gonna kind of put them on to James and see if he thinks they're sexy or not. Okay, let's start with this.
That's sexy.
Yeah, I think it's a winner. Okay, give it back. Give it back. Give it back. All right, we got another one here. What do you think?
A little harder.
What do you? Oh, a little harder.
That's good.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting a little carried away. Okay, the next one we have is this right here. Give me your hand. Just one. What do you think?
Could be nice.
Could be nice. Okay, could be
Putting this
nice.
in the right places.
What? In the right places. Okay, this
And this is
a
out of
family
Tony's
show.
closet.
Out of my closet. Not. Here, little, you know what. And it's silk. What do you think?
Nice.
Nice?
Nice.
Okay, all right, so I think, though, which did you like the best?
Teddy.
Teddy? There you go. He knew it was a Teddy.
He knew it was a
He's
Teddy.
peeking.
We're gonna do sense of smell, and we're starting very romantically here. Okay. What do you think? Huh?
Looks like he likes it.
Yeah, like
Do
it?
it again, do it again.
Oh, you're such a ham. Okay. Now,
Loving this.
well, here we go.
Can you get that, of course?
Yeah.
No.
Too strong. No, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't into that.
Now this. We're a little sadist here.
Yeah? Yes, no?
He's really getting into this. And the last one.
Smells important when I think you adds a vibe to everything.
When you what? When you what?
Adds a vibe. Yeah,
It's a family show. Okay. All right, what'd you think?
The
First one, second one, third?
First one.
First one.
Okay,
My
all
turn.
right.
My turn.
Your turn.
My
Here.
turn. I'm going to.
Choose the right thing, guys.
Yeah.
The first one.
Now we're going off of sound. Just listen to my voice. For a fleeting second, Bonner was treated to an unobstructed view of her breasts. He remembered seeing her silhouette in the office window and thinking how perfectly proportioned her body was. But nothing in that memory had hinted at the beauty he'd just seen.
I like that.
How was that?
I got turned on.
And you
Get
get,
turned
All
on.
right. Okay, all right. Now this one.
Doesn't take much.
I think you're a fool, laughed the sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in her pouch said, me too. You're the biggest blame fool in the jungle of New, and the kangaroo's plunged in the cool of the pool. All right. All right. And the last one. Roses are red, violets are blue, sugar's sweet, and I want you.
Now that's a toss-up. But I like the first one.
Okay, he likes the first one.
Give it to me, baby.
Okay, we're on the last sentence here, and it's all about taste here. Okay, so open up. Open up. Here we go. Oh, this is fun. See, I like this job. Here you go.
Huh?
What do you think? Everyone's
I
seeing what it
actually
is?
want some of that too.
Right, later, Tessie. Okay, all right, and the next one, I'm gonna just finger feed you. Is that okay? Would you mind that?
He's still
I would
chewing.
love that.
Okay, we're going to the next one.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
He's into the first
Coming
one.
right up.
He's into the first
He
one.
has to take his time.
There you go. And hot or not?
Very
Okay, all right, and we got the last one right here.
I'm getting hungry.
Okay,
This is great. I get fed
see?
and blindfolded.
Okay, and here's the last one. Here's the last one. Open up. Open up. Open
I'll
up.
get some.
I'm just kidding. Okay, here you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Do you
all
like that?
good.
You like the last one?
Yes.
Of course, he picks the Italian dessert, the Italian American of the house, Zambaglione.
Very
Thank you very much.
Food is
All
sexy.
right.
All right, let's take his blindfold off.
Okay, let's get those blue eyes showing again, huh?
Do your dates know what you're into?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I believe you.
Pre-warned them.
You need to. And you probably think you know what turns your mate on at home, but you could be wrong. Sexologist Dr. Marilyn Volker is going to come out and tell us what will make you and your partner erupt. So don't go away. We're coming right back. It's too sexy for words.
And tasty.
Your choices were very, very, very interesting, but what did we actually learn about James? I mean, is he into teddy bears or what? I know what I think, James, but we should probably ask our expert, Dr. Marilyn Volker, the leading sexologist in the United States. Welcome, Marilyn, to Cafe Cosmopolitan.
Thank you.
So, enlighten us. What does the choice of the feel of a teddy bear, the smell of a rose, the sound of some breasts, what does that mean when a person, what does that mean?
Well, it may mean that he had liked something firm but soft, cuddly, romantic, who's a little trashy.
Tony, describes you perfectly.
I love that.
Close?
I know you're married.
Close?
Very close.
Yeah.
Very close.
Actually, it's very interesting to look at people's maps, and that's one of the things that we're going to do here today, is to read people's maps. You were very fortunate to have been mapped in front of the crowd.
We're going to get to the maps in a bit, but first of all, I want to know how important is it to actually know what our mate likes and for them to know what we like?
think it's very important because most of the time, especially if you're with males or females, they think differently, they operate differently, we're wired differently to respond sexually. And the part of the brain that responds to that is called the limbic system. So whatever, James, you responded to, that was your limbic system going, yes. And not everybody thinks alike, so it's important to check it out.
So we should tell each other.
Absolutely, or show them.
Or show.
I like that better. Yeah.
What about couples that don't feel so comfortable taking this kind of sex test at home? Is there any way they can utilize this concept, this MAP concept, which maybe you can explain to us a little more?
Absolutely. You don't have to bring out all the things necessarily, but what you do need to do is get a paper and pencil and at least write down some of the things that you might be responding to. Things that are about all of your 5 senses. How you like to be touched, where you like to be touched. Describe exactly the kinds of touch. Scratching, tickling, rubbing, and where. Also, what kinds of smells do you like on, in, or around you? How about vision? What do you like to see a partner in? What do you like to feel on you? Not only food, but also hearing. Do you like music? Do you like words? What kind of words? So now you've got a whole now you've got a whole lot of things to check out, and that is your internal map. Most people think that sexuality is about something coming at you, but really it's your inside responding to the world around you. So no matter what Cosmo puts on that cover, it's really about what's happening inside that people respond to, and well worth the time for couples to talk about, show, or draw.
So you can just explain the concept and then fill it out yourselves and swap it.
Absolutely. And what a great gift for the holidays. You know, to look on the map.
That is a good idea.
Give a gift. Give a gift. Absolutely.
Well, you know what? It's time for us to do the map. Here at Cosmo Cafe, in every table, we put copies of the map and pencils for you all to fill out. And you at home can also do it. Just get a piece of paper and pencil and write down what makes you feel sexy in terms of, like the doctor said, touch, taste, smell, sight, sound.
Everyone getting out their maps? Okay.
Do it.
All right, and when we come back, all of our hidden desires are going to be shown to the world after we fill out the map, us girls included. But first, James, I just want to make sure your pencil's sharpened, honey.
My pencil's always sharpened.
Great.
I bet it is. Please. Cafe Cosmopolitan will be back in a flash.
Let's do it.
And ready to find out what makes us explode, right guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Now with me I have a couple. What's your name?
My name is Danny.
And your name?
Janet.
Now how long have you guys been together?
About 8 years now.
Since you were how old?
14.
Oh, how cute, how cute.
High school sweethearts.
Oh, that's so nice. Now, I want to know, through your map, what you like, what makes you feel sexy in terms of, let's say, touch. Read it up.
Just touch. I like ice.
Eyes? Eyes, not eyes, but eyes. Where do you like that ice?
Ice down my chin, down my chest, and then sometimes down below.
Down below. And do you do this for him?
With a few other touches, yes.
Okay, good. Then you're in tune with your man. Good. Okay, what else do you like, let's say, in terms of sound? What you like to hear?
Well, Janet has a private name for my...
Okay.
Don't say anything.
What's the private name we need to know? For your what, first of all?
Well, he used
We
to
know.
have sideburns, and I'd call him Little Elvis.
Big Elvis.
Big Elvis. So wait, you go, love me tender, love me. Something like that, yeah? Well, okay, so, and is Little Elvis behaving?
Very well.
Okay.
To this day.
So you guys are sort of in touch, huh? Now you, what do you like in terms of touch?
Let me see. I like to be tickled. Just light, soft tickle.
Ah, do you do that?
All the time.
That's great.
She's a tickle freak.
Okay, in a sexy way. You don't want to torture her or anything.
Oh, you're torturing me, but okay.
Okay, and
It's being tickled on her thighs, maybe like on her back or on her neck.
yeah, me, I couldn't take that.
Here.
No, no, no. Okay, and how about in terms of sound? What do you like to hear?
Me gusta cuando me hablan español.
Oh, so you like to hear?
I like to be talked in Spanish during
And do you do it, man?
Pues claro.
All right, well, this couple is really getting it together. Good, I like that. No wonder you've been together for 8 years. Now, Tanya, you got something going on there with the bartender, huh?
Yes, we're at the bar with another hunkola, Anthony. So we want to know, Anthony, what's sexy to you?
Well, Tanya, what I enjoy most is when a woman comes up close to my neck and blows a nice soft air into my ear.
Who doesn't like that?
Now, see?
No.
He's getting into that. That's really great. Whether it's touch by hand or touch by blowing, that's probably something that everybody can do here. Not necessarily the ice all the way down. Actually, I have a comment right here. Most men are wired. They're wired in their brain to go right to the genitals, and it's not because they're pigs. It is not. It's how they're wired.
Because they have them named, Alvin.
That's right. Most women are wired to take a little more time because their brains are wired for a lot more neuron activity to go across. That doesn't mean they're frigid. But what's happening here is whether it's by touch or by blowing, that's maybe something the audience can do. What do you think? What do you think? Let's get them involved. What do you think?
I agree.
Here's the deal. We're going to see how the women in the audience can blow in a man's ear. Now, there's a lot of ways to do it. You can do it playful. You can do it nurturing. You can do it sensuous. You can do it sexual. You decide. But I think the women should practice blowing in the guy's ears. What do you
I
think?
think that's a very wise decision.
Okay.
Practice.
All right, let's
What do you
do it.
think?
Come on.
What do you think? Let's
wanna
go.
see
So I
it.
want all the women to be together.
Come on. No way.
I want to see this couple of 8 years. I want to see the couple of 8 years.
Yeah, come on. Oh, you're telling us about Elvis and you're shy? Come on.
Ah, see now. Now that's a sensuous blow right there.
That's
so
right. Hold on, because we've got someone here that wants to say something.
Nobody's blowing in James's ear.
Oh my gosh, James.
Can I have that task?
Well, I don't know. You wanna go ahead and do it?
I'd love to try.
Come on up.
look at this. She's a left ear person. Look at that
mean?
Hey. Wow.
I like that.
Wow.
Honey, you got
I think that was an advanced ear blowing.
I think before the censors get us, why don't we go to like a little example maybe of mine from the map.
Great.
The girls were a little concerned for me during the break when they found out what I put down for smell. Because I find the smell of gasoline sexy, of nail polish, and of barnyards.
Ooh. It's a little animals and machinery going on here. Did you notice?
Can I be like booking an appointment soon with you or
Oh,
what?
I think no. All you need to know is to let someone know your map. And did I hear you were single?
Yes.
Here comes a good ad. Wanted.
Oh my
Wanted,
God.
right here.
You're just like my mom.
A gasoline toting, nail polish putting, and somebody that's going to drive me around the barnyard.
Okay, well, coming up next, we have a doctor who actually made it okay for women to start fantasizing. Doesn't sound bad, does it?
Yes, and she wrote the best-selling book, My Secret Garden, My Mother, Myself, and her latest is entitled The Power of Beauty.
And we're, of course, talking about author Nancy Friday. And believe me, if you haven't had any good fantasies lately, well, you will after you hear her. We'll be right back.
Who's written more about women's sexual needs and fantasies than our next guest. This woman has single-handedly changed the way women feel about their own sexuality. Controversial? Oh, yeah. Profound? She's that too. So we definitely had to have her as a guest at the cafe. So let's put our hands together and welcome author Nancy Friday. How you doing, Nancy? Nice to meet you.
Welcome. Here, I'm so
Thank you. Nancy, I have to tell you.
Oh, my books, how nice of you.
Oh, yeah,
We've got your books, we've got coffee, and I'm probably going to need a little rum here. We have got to talk.
Go, girl.
I read Women on Top, and I'm telling you, the entire time my mouth was hung wide open. I mean, some of these fantasies, apes, and we'll just some of these things, I absolutely could not relate.
1/8. Just 1/8.
It was 1/8. One eighth is 1/8 too many. I could not relate. I mean, is it me? Do these women really have these kind of fantasies? Or I was thinking, okay, maybe they want to just have their name in print. Or is this real?
Well, remember, a fantasy, an image in your mind that only you know about, is something that turns you on sexually. It may not work for anybody else. It comes out of your past. It's part of who you are. Lord knows. It's very, very private, and it's why I always caution people when they talk about telling their beloved, their enamorada, about their erotic fantasy, think twice and then think again, because he or she just may not be thrilled to hear it. It may not be their cup of tea. Also, once you tell it, there's something about having aired this very special secret you have that it may not work for you the next time. It may not arouse you in the same way once you said it. So it's money in the bank. Think twice.
I'm not weird, or I'm not the exception to the rule.
Oh, honey, no. I mean, everybody has erotic images, and if they don't, I don't think they are aware of their sexuality in a way. Certainly, masturbation is one area of life in which fantasy has to play a part. Men who are more at home with masturbation, shall we say, than we women are, who have just sort of discovered it in recent years.
And some of us have never done that.
I still haven't discovered it. I still have not discovered it.
Well, your
Never
time will
thought
come.
about it. When is it going to come?
Well,
36
that's
years
for
old.
you. That's for you. Nobody else. This is something private. It's just you and you.
But if you've got someone to do it for you, why do it yourself?
No, that's what I'm talking
that's
about.
not
Man out of this.
That's a little different. Of course, and that's also a good idea if he enjoys it as much. But really think twice about telling him. People think that sharing fantasies heightens the relationship. And in a way it may, but sometimes when we tell the other person our fantasy, they don't like it. We think, love me, love my fantasy. How can you you can't put it back in the bag again.
James, what about you? You're married. Do you share your fantasies with your wife?
Yeah, some.
You guys act
Some.
them out?
Yeah, I
And
think
some?
I think it's great to do that because, like we said, going back before, knowing your partner, knowing what arouses her, and sharing some of those things. I think it's great. I think it
probably a lot about
heightens
trust.
the sexual relationship.
I like to keep it secret because I don't want my husband knowing I'm thinking Tom Cruise while I'm...
I wouldn't go that far.
And listen,
Kill
I'll
me.
tell you what 20 years of writing about sexual fantasies, men's and women's, has taught me is that most of us do not fantasize about the person we're with. I think a lot of the reason is because of the way we're raised, where so much of fantasy has to do with the forbidden. So that it could happen. I mean, so much of our sexuality has to do with the forbidden. Few of us had mothers who endorsed, as it were, our sexuality, who wanted to know that we masturbated, who wanted to know what we did in that car with that boy when we were 13 or 14.
Not my mother.
She wanted to know?
I said, not my mother. She didn't.
No, of course they didn't. So our erotic fantasies come out of our unconscious and very often deal with breaking the rules. They are mostly about, for instance, you're having sex with your mate, your husband, your wife, and you're thinking about maybe their best friend. Now, that is not a fantasy you tell him or her.
Yeah,
but and that doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're a bad person.
And
It
it's
just
not
says,
that you don't love the guy. It's
Absolutely
just that
not.
you've seen him in the bathroom and scratching his behind, and it's...
But it isn't
you need a
even that.
mess.
I think if we get a generation of people who are raised by parents who accept their children's sexuality and give that message, we will have a whole different sexual arena in our society. But that time has not yet come.
Let me ask you a question. You've interviewed so many psychologists, sexologists, all these clinical people. You've interviewed all these women, but have you interviewed the men? What do the men want in a woman? What have you found that they think is the sexiest thing?
Well, I think, first of all, what women don't realize is that is that men begin by seeing us as very, very powerful. All of us were raised by a woman. Unhappily, we still haven't got enough men in the nursery raising children yet. So all of us begin with this very powerful giantess of the nursery, as I always call her, as she seems to a little child. And so men have to grow up as little boys, putting together an image of what it is to be male opposite this woman who controls everything. I mean, she feeds you, she loves you, she raises you, and you have to make up for yourself in the company of other boys, which is why boys have those great groups, that camaraderie when they're young. You got to make up together what is a guy, because if a guy is going to be strong and along comes adolescence and suddenly these girls turn to you and go weak in your arms, and you've got to think, wow, I've got to be strong. What's strong opposite these giantesses, these gorgeous women who make me just die a little. So you guys make up, you make up kind of late in life, and later on we say, oh, you brutes. Well, come on, give them a break.
But Nancy, do you
Not
think
just you,
that
James.
this is a question I always struggle with, because I think of myself as a modern woman. I obviously work, I'm not married, I don't have kids, and I'm an aggressive person. I mean, you guys know that. We're all pretty much type A, but I definitely am so, and I wonder, do men get intimidated by strong women?
Well, I have this idea about women who make the first move. I'm all for women calling out men. I think it's part of what feminism is supposed to be about.
Well, I want to hear what James has to say. What do you think?
I think it's great. Yeah, I think it's great. If a woman calls me up, I'd love that. Yeah.
But do you find, has it happened?
Yeah. Sure.
And do you find that women can take rejection?
Ooh, I hate to pass out to stuff like that.
Don't make
I break it down easy for them. Yeah, I think they can. I think women want honesty.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I think they do.
And you just say, hey, you know, not tonight or some other time. I think she'd like that better than saying, you know what, call me later. Or...
What do you think about that?
About the men or women being honest?
Women being aggressive and going
about women making the first move. How about picking up the check and then why don't we go back to our place?
I would love that to happen.
See, I don't know. That's too much for me.
Well, I think lots of women like to make the first move and would make a move or 1.5 moves and see what happens with that and see how the man responds.
Oh, you have to go, I think, very carefully with the man, because if you're a smart woman, you don't want to pounce on him any more than we want them to pounce on us. We've been complaining about the pouncing male for hundreds of years.
We want to have a game here.
Okay, girls with balls in our court.
Unless on the map, the woman says she wants to pounce, and the guy says, go for it, baby, at that time. But generally speaking, you'd have to breed them pretty carefully about how much,
I think if you want to establish a relationship, you
And
know,
that
I
was
think it has to go slowly. You know, I mean, I would. I mean, to build a strong relationship, the game, you got to be, you know, it's all a game. You know, chase each other.
The game.
But James,
not a game in that way, but just chasing each other. You know. Okay. And,
James, let me ask you a question. Say you go out with a woman, or you have gone out with a woman like this, and the dinner goes fine, and say she's an upfront woman. After all, women are competing with men in the workplace, and we're making not maybe equal money, generally speaking, but we're making good money. So she pays for the bill, and you end up in bed. You have sex. Do you find that the next morning she feels really bad if you don't call? Do you feel there's a difference in the relationship the next morning? Have you found in the past that she expects you to now have a relationship because you've had sex?
Shoot. Sometimes.
You're speaking for all men, James.
Yeah. Gosh, I just felt a whole bunch of pressure. I think so. I think that if somebody has sex and you know, hopefully they want a little bit more than just sex. I think maybe, you know, to be able to call them back. Yeah, sure. I think that's.
I found that women often feel that the men don't call right away. The woman it's been great sex up until morning. Everybody thinks, wow, what a night. And then he gets up and bounds out of bed and says, oh boy, I can't wait to get to the office. He gets to the office and has a great day of work, and she's sort of still lying there waiting for him to call.
Yeah. This brings up, Nancy, you know, that's what I wanted to tell you. Women have such conflicting emotions all the time. Specifically, I'm referring to the sewer syndrome that you've talked about so much. Tell us a little bit about that.
The sewer. Well, in my book I call call it the cloaca concept. The cloaca is a Latin term meaning sewer, but it has to do, and it's used clinically.
But it sounds more scientific to say than sewer.
Cloaca does sound a little more scientific, I guess. But it has to do with the concept that women in particular have with our genitals, that they're not clean, that they're dirty, that it's a bad place, that it smells, that it's simply not nice. And I'm not making up anything. Just turn on television tonight and you'll have that mother and the daughter walking through the meadow talking about, now darling, on those days of the month, you know. And it's, I mean, people are still not addressing it like head on. I don't think you have to get on television and talk about the cloaca or the sewer, but there's all this sort of beating around the bush, if you'll excuse the terrible pun. Oh dear, I didn't mean that. Perhaps I should go backwards. See, basically, I'm still a nice girl who writes about sex.
It's called beating around the vulva.
Right, beating around the vulva. That's very cute, doctor.
Well, basically, the bottom line is you say that women just need to take responsibility over their own sexuality. That's the bottom.
Absolutely. And I mean, mothers should be raising their daughters to feel good about their genitals. Only when you feel good about your genitals are you going to be responsible for them. If you have a sewer between your legs, you don't want to be responsible for it. You don't want anything to do with it. So when it comes to sex, you expect the boy to take responsibility for you. You do not use contraception. You wait for the prince. Sorry, James, you're the only prince on stage. You wait for the prince to be responsible. And so, of course, a 14-year-old prince, what does he know? I mean, he's totally on foreign ground here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what does this have to do about sexiness? I mean, how does taking control over our sewer or whatever you want to call it?
Sex is all about control. Sex is powerful. We're talking about the most powerful urge in human life. So if you're in control of that urge, you can use it far more than this Lady Locke's lying back and just waiting for a man to take over. Turn me on, make me sexual. And that's how young girls are still growing up.
So how can we get rid of this sewer syndrome thought? You know, do we douche more? What?
Masturbate. Masturbation, learning how you're built, coming to terms with how you're built.
I tell you. Masturbate, honey.
Good. I can't do it. Oh, I can't do it. Well, then, I cannot do it.
Say in the book that
Then look at it. Get a mirror and look at it.
I don't want to.
I said I'm trying. I can't stop now.
I feel like I'm back in the 60s.
No, really, Nancy, it's not that, no, I don't want to seem like a prude, but I got a husband to do that for me. Why am I not?
To be responsible for your vagina?
My mother's watching. This is not.
Her husband's got the key.
You said something very interesting in the book, which brought up the point of if women are taking control over their sexuality and masturbating and taking care of everything down there, that it does help to differentiate the sex between the love, the confusion that women have all the time, where men can differentiate and women can't, and we get burned a lot of the time because we don't understand the difference.
Well, Tony, I tell you what, why don't we find out what men are thinking about this taking control in the bedroom? This man has something to say. I see it. What's your name?
Ian.
Okay, Ian. And I mean, be honest. What do you think about women being in control in the bed?
Well, I'm all for it, you know.
He's all for it.
Great.
Did you say that because this is mostly women in here?
Yeah, but no, I mean, if it makes better sex, of course, yeah.
That's the bottom line for you. It's better sex, it works for you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, what's your name?
Lex.
Lex, what do you think?
When you talk about masturbating, does that mean that the women don't need us anymore? Or?
Good.
That the women don't need you anymore if they masturbate?
Us anymore.
No, I think masturbation, in addition to sex with another person, is a well-rounded life. But I don't think one eliminates the other. I think that women are alone who don't have a mate. I think it's a great. It really leads to great sleep afterwards. A warm bath, a candle. But there are a lot of women out there who are alone, and orgasm is a wonderful feeling. And if you don't have anybody to have sex with, masturbation, it's a new idea for women. You boys of men as boys have been masturbating. It's part of the bonding process of young boys, are the groups that you have together. It's part of that getting away from the powerful mother whom you love. You love mom, but you can't be like her.
Okay,
so
let me ask you
enter
this
the
then.
penis.
This is a book that kind of goes against what you've been talking about. It's called The Rules. Now, a lot of women have been reading this book and eating it up. I'm hearing clapping. I personally, as a 28-year-old single person who dates a lot, I hate this book.
It's a terrible book.
I gotta tell you.
It makes you a slave, and all you're doing is trying to please the other person and trying to manipulate
It's a lie.
them into
It would
getting
be a
them.
lie for you.
And then who would I marry?
But you
Who
know
would
what?
this person be?
That book has a lot of valid points. That book has gotten
Like
a
what?
lot of women I know married. Okay? If that's your goal in life, it gets you married.
Well, I'm not going to get on that conversation.
But tell us about it. What do you think about
May I say something to Ed? Ed is really worried that he's going to be replaced. And could I just say that lots of women who masturbate, not all, but do that at a time when their partner's not there, or do that at a time so they learn about themselves so they can tell you or show you the map of their sexual response. And never, never can a vibrator replace the human warmth if the human warmth understands the map and the sexual response. If not, Ed, then a vibrator could.
And a vibrator cannot hold you afterwards. You know,
Absolutely.
we women are different. After sex, after orgasm, this is clinical talk now. After orgasm, women come down very, very slowly. Men come down much more rapidly. It's why men so often roll over and go to sleep, and we're lying there, and we're still drifting in this wonderful feeling. That's what you all should know. You could understand and help us in that. But I am not pushing masturbation as an alternative to sex. I'm saying it's a way for women to learn about themselves, and I think it can lead to more responsible sex. Because when you know your body, you want to take care of yourself.
Hallelujah.
Good point. Good point. And on that note, we've been dealing with all of the inner stuff, so we've got to deal with the outer stuff because, let's face it, the physical is the first thing that you see.
I think so. And with us, we're going to have Dr. Alan Sarur, and he's a plastic surgeon, and he's the one that can fold it, tuck it, make it bigger, make them smaller, whatever you want.
And we got the guy who will cover it all up for you. We have a fashion designer here, Jerry Kelly. He's going to give us some looks for everyone. We got weekend looks, we got working looks, we got date looks. It's all coming up, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
We're not blessed with the double D breasts or a perfect nose or even a perfect posterior for that matter. And a lot of women go through complexes in life. They feel bad about their appearance. Well, after all, this is the 90s, and we don't have to suffer anymore. If we want to make a change, we can. And today, we have the man who knows all about making changes. Dr. Alan Sarur is with us today. Tell us, really, are women really doing these plastic surgeries for themselves, or is it more for the man in their lives?
I think women do plastic surgery for themselves. Most women seek happiness, fulfillment of what they want to look like. It's unusual that someone will come in and say, I'd like to change myself for my husband. I want bigger breasts because my boyfriend wants it. I want to attract a specific man. And those, incidentally, are the worst patients in the world for plastic surgery. They're not doing it for the right reason.
Right. What is the most common procedure that at least you find that women want?
In the context of your discussion, certainly breast enlargement and body sculpture, liposculpture, liposuction, where you're augmenting one area and in some cases trimming down other areas. For example, women would want to enlarge her breasts and trim down the thighs or trim down the tummy, bulge a little bit, and give what she perceives as that ideal figure.
Right, but I want to know, I see, like, not that I'm admitting to watching these kind of trashier shows where they have these girls on who are like 15 years old, who are getting breast implants and like their moms are for it. Are there some people you just say no to?
Yes, that specific mother that comes in and
Here's
says,
Dr. Allen.
I want my daughter to get that new modeling contract or be Miss Teen, whatever. That's very dangerous. You're dealing with somebody whose psyche is not yet formed. They're still developing physically. So that's really, really a red flag. That's dangerous.
But what I want to know is, does it build self-confidence when they actually have these procedures? Do they feel better about themselves? Does it change them?
When properly motivated, yes, it does. And frequently you see women that have, for example, had their children and breast change. Breast might shrink a little bit after the hormonal changes of pregnancy with or without breastfeeding. And they want to get to what they were before, or perhaps a little bit better. That's great, and that's very healthy. Then women that are not in that mode, but just want to enhance what they have, they know what they want. And part of it is evaluating people, not that I'm a psychiatrist as well, but you try to ascertain motivation, what's going on in your life, and the best patients are the stable, happy patients, and they know what they want.
Well, actually, I know that there are some women in this audience who've had plastic surgery. They've gone under the knife, and I want to see how it's changed their lives. Now, stand up. What's your name?
Well, my name is Lucy.
What have you had done?
Well, I had done, as you can see, my breasts.
No, wait, we can see them better like this. Okay. Were you real flat?
I was pretty flat.
How
pretty flat?
How flat were you?
Very flat.
What are you now?
I was like maybe a double A, and now I'm a fulfilled B.
Very fulfilled.
Very fulfilled.
Has it changed your life?
It has.
Do you think guys pay more attention to you now?
Well, I don't know if they pay more attention to me, but I...
Have you been able to snag more than you were able to snag before?
Well, I keep that pretty personal, but my appearance feels much better.
But do you feel better about yourself? That's important
too. Much better, yes. Much more comfortable, fulfilled.
More confident.
Yes.
No pun intended on the food.
Fulfilled.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you. Let's go to our next person here. What's your name? Stand up.
My name is Suzanne.
Suzanne, what have you had done?
I've had my nose done, my lips done, my breasts done, and some liposuction.
So just a total full job, huh?
Not at one time.
Now, how old are you?
27.
When did you start this whole thing?
25.
Oh, so in 2 years you've had all this done?
Absolutely.
And why did you feel you had to do all this stuff and just change yourself completely?
Not that I had to or that I wanted to change, just to enhance or just correct little things that I wanted to correct.
How do you feel about yourself now? Do you feel much better about yourself?
I feel great.
Really? And do you see a different reaction from men at all? Or the same or better?
Sure.
Sure, yeah?
Yeah.
Wait, more, they pay more attention. They look more at your boobs now. Before it may have been your face, now it's like, hi. And how are you? And how are you? No?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay, well, but if it works for you, you feel better about yourself and everything?
I feel great.
And Dr. Sarut, do you see that more? That people, women are just feeling better about themselves after this and they want to do more stuff after the first surgery and they just go back to you?
I think everybody's goals are different, and it's not uncommon to see someone have breast augmentation and then down the road say, gee, a little liposuction here or something else to enhance my appearance, because it's been said plastic surgery can be addictive. Once you get into that frame of mind, it does. People want to do more and more. And a lot of people say, oh, geez, that's so much done. It's not really hard. Well, it's really the person. And I think what's important is the ultimate happiness. If you're still seeking something you can't get, then it's dangerous. But if you arrive at that level of happiness and fulfillment, it's great. Go for it.
Well, now I want to hear what a guy has to say about it. How about it, Tanya?
We've got one right here. We've got Brad at the bar. Brad, what do you think about a woman having plastic surgery to improve her looks?
Well, I've got a brother who feels like he's always saying the faker the better, I'm of a different opinion. I like when a woman's comfortable with what she's born with, and I don't know, I find it more attractive. It's a beautiful thing.
He likes them
we
natural.
like that. We like that. Good answer, Brad.
Good answer. Well, if plastic surgery isn't for you, and it's not for all of us, right? It's not. We have some other ways to kind of alter your appearance and to feel more sexy. So help me welcome fashion designer Jerry Kelly. Hey there. How are you? Thank you. Thanks for coming. Now, You say being sexy is not about dressing for just the occasion, it's dressing to look good all the time. What do you mean?
Well, depending on the lady, I think if you hide those problem areas and expose the good areas, I think a woman can look sexy. Every woman is different. What looks good on you may not necessarily look sexy on somebody else.
So you got to know your strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly.
And who are some of the stronger ladies you've dressed in your career? Because you've dressed a lot.
Yeah, Diana Ross, Linda Evangelista, Princess Ira von Furstenberg, Simply Red, Nina Hagen, and lots more.
Wow, not bad. Well, let's start. We're going to start with the weekend looks that you put together for us, right? Because you think you're sick and tired of seeing like the women with the scrunchies at the mall in the baggy pants and sweats and all this stuff, right?
Yeah, this is a collection we chose from a store in Miami Beach, Florida called Diamonds and Chicken Soup, which
Cool name.
actually, it's a great name because it's a combination of some wonderful things.
All right, let's bring out the first girl.
Okay, this is Carlotta from Irene Marie Model Agency. Carlotta's wearing something that you can wear going to the supermarket, look sexy. When you come back from the beach, you can put it on, and you can still be in the home and still look great.
And if you got a problem butt, you can wear it too, right?
Exactly.
All right. Let's bring on the next one, please. Oh, she is so cute.
I know, and only 15 years old. Isn't she fabulous?
Oh, my God.
This is a look also that you can wear for the weekend when you go to the supermarket, go shopping, go that stroll down the beach. It's something very beautiful.
And you can go for tighter jeans if, you know, you feel
Exactly.
it or looser.
And one or two buttons, less or more.
Ooh, love it. All right, let's bring on the next gal. Next we have, this is for dating, right?
Yeah, this is Jeanette. This is something you wear for a casual date where you don't want to expose too much.
I went on a blind date the other night, honey, and I did not know what to wear.
Did you get your sight back?
You can ask the girls. I called them up. I'm like, I don't know what to wear. This would have been perfect. Tell
And this
me
is
what it is.
it's a very simple two-piece. This is a kind of a sheer with velour embroidery on it and a long sheer velvet skirt.
That's kind of hot this season, right?
It's very hot this year, and it's a great color for this season.
Gorgeous. Let's bring on the next gorgeous woman.
This is Nita. She's wearing a beautiful long, it looks like a hand-painted gown, but it's a tie-dye.
It's very sexy. It's sheer.
Yeah. It's actually the look I would give to Courtney Love today, from her trailer trash look to her new haute couture look.
So you think she's sexy,
I think she'd look good in that now.
Well, she definitely looks sexy in it.
She looks great now.
All right, now the next looks we have coming up are for the workplace. And this is kind of a big debate around town. Everyone's saying, should we dress sexy at work or not? Will it get us into trouble? Will we be accepted? What do you think?
Well, I think it's, there's so much going on in America about sexual harassment at the moment, but if men are educated correctly and they understand that women can show a little bit of 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 buttons and a short skirt. Exactly like that. I mean, she can close the jacket and tease him with something, but I think it's a great look.
But what's with the white shirt and the black bra? That worries me. I don't know about that. You can wear that. That's not the next girl.
Let's bring on the next girl. All right, and this is kind of diva gorgeous.
So
very
when you murder your boss for sexual harassment, you're already dressed for the funeral. It's a very, very beautiful two-piece.
Let me ask you something. This to me reads nighttime. You're breaking the rules.
Actually, yes and no. Women nowadays are pretty powerful. They go to a lot of business executive meetings, and a lot of the work really begins at 6 o'clock in the evening. So a lot of the business appointments go on at 6 o'clock. So get prepared for the evening as well as the office.
They all look absolutely gorgeous. If you had one celebrity woman that you thought needed a little bit of help, who would it be? Don't trash her, but just need a little help.
Drew Barrymore.
Drew?
Yes.
I don't know. What do you think, Tanya? You think Drew needs some help?
A little bit.
And she hangs out with Tori Spelling.
Okay, well, look, we've had a lot of fun with the fashion, and when we come back, we're going to have a lot of fun with the map. We're going to have a roundup of the map. We're going to have the results of the map, and you are all going to be so surprised when you hear this. So we'll be right back. Stay with us.
And thank you, Nancy Friday, who's gonna lead that. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Let's hear it for Nancy. So great meeting you. We can tell that this has been a great show. I've learned a lot. My concept of sexy is all different now.
I am so glad I found out I'm normal. Hey, I'm normal.
We've always known you're normal. Well, anyways, we have those results we told you about from our audience of what the map says. And it says that 67%, I'm sorry, of our audience say that sexy is confidence and personality. And 32% say it's breasts and luscious lips. So, yeah. And speaking of luscious lips, we want to thank James for having been with us and being such a support.
And I'd like to thank Dr. Marilyn Volker for joining us. We learned so much.
Happy mapping.
And also thank you, doctor. We really appreciate it. If we need a job, we know where to go.
And last but not least, we got to thank Mr. Jerry Kelly for bringing all the